Kia ora. I am going to share with you my layout that I've created for Scraptember Day 2, and the theme for today is black and white. So I have pulled out some of the black and white bits and pieces that I've got with me. There's a few papers, there's a few embellishments and things like that. But I'm going to start with just matting this photo on some of the white offcuts from when I was making the 8.5 by 11 base page. So the photo is sort of a pretty good shot of these sort of trenches that were along the Copeland track. I don't remember these from the first few times that we'd done this track, but that was quite some time ago. It's almost as if they've been dug out sort of by a water race or by something along those lines, perhaps during flooding or something like that, but they kind of at places took up the whole space that you would normally walk along, so it was easier to walk in these trenches rather than alongside them. You would sort of be walking along the trench and there sort of wouldn't be any evident end in sight, and all of a sudden you would sort of come to a dead end and you'd have to clamber up and out of these with packs on back and things. So a lot of climbing in and then climbing out again, and with a heavy pack it wasn't super easy. I probably had to slug out on at least one occasion, but there was good source of lots of giggles and laughter with my daughter and her friend that was sort of nearby when we were generally going through these parts of the tramp. So I've sort of matted the photo here with a couple of different black and white papers as well, and I've just put I think it was a 3-inch strip along that right edge of sort of some black and white floral paper that I think was in a collection from close to my heart, either in the last annual catalogue or the one before. I have got these black chipboard letters, so to keep this black and white theme going, I am looking at pulling some of those out for the title. And I found those white brackets and thought, that'd be kind of cool for the journaling, but it just seemed to fit the title as well in that space, which was quite convenient really. These chipboard letters are great, they're not totally expensive, quite a few letter choices in there, and it's sort of easy to have a few packs of some of the letters do get used. You've got more of them there, and they're kind of a nice font as well, so I'm quite enjoying having these in the close to my heart offerings for this time around. So now I'm just going to glue down that paper strip on the side there, and this I think layout was the end of my tape runner. It did run out, yep, right there. So I ended up going back to some double-sided tape when I was sort of packing reasonably quickly to leave home and just wanted some bits and pieces to do to keep my mind off stuff. I have collected just a few things that I thought would work, and so I'm sort of stuck with what I've got in this for these pages with where I am. So I am just going to stick bits and pieces down, and what I was going on to say about the double-sided tape was I just couldn't find my tape runner refills, and I sort of could see the double-sided tape, so just grabbed a few of those, but it feels almost old school using it. In the last I guess 2 to 3 years I've generally only used the tape runners just out of convenience, but initially when I was scrapbooking, affordability was a key issue, and the double-sided tape was a much I'd like to say cheaper option. It was just more economical than using the snails or the tape runners, and a friend and I were reflecting on that recently when we were scrapbooking, that once you've sort of got used to the convenience of the tape runners, you don't really want to go back to double-sided tape. So just an interesting reflection on how scrapbooking's changed for me and for friends as we've sort of grown up together and changed some of the things that we sort of took for granted that you used all the time. I do remember going into lockdown the first time with COVID as well, and I did buy a few extra rolls of double-sided tape just in case I wasn't able to get more adhesive. It was sort of one of those unknowns. How long were we going to be in lockdown for? What was the story? And here in New Zealand, it ended up being, I think it was about 6 weeks. Something like that anyway, or 6 weeks in its entirety until we're actually back to school. So I probably wouldn't have run out of adhesive in that time, but you never know. Anyway, back to the trail. So this is looking pretty much done. However, it just felt a little bit cut up, a few pieces of paper stuck on a page with a bit of journaling and a title. So I decided to pull out these trusty paints, which I've used both on the one yesterday and on the second, and so I'm just grabbing the black paint and I am just splattering it around the outside edge, sticking with that black and white theme, but just giving a little bit more interest around it. And I know that I have my white gloss acrylic spray in there as well, so I'm just going to tap that around, just mainly so that there's a little bit of a difference on that black floral paper instead of just on the white background. So after covering that up, there is my page. I'm happy with how that's looking, and the next page is probably going to be similar with these trench photos. Thanks for watching. Check the playlist below for more of the theme for Scraptember. Thank you for watching.